Hello, Jeff Green here, and I'm going to do a short video on Apple. I get a lot of questions as to why Apple has been decreasing so rapidly in the last, 6 or 8 months. And it would be easy to say, well, there's more sellers than buyers. That would be the short answer, but let's take a look at the charts. And if you would be so kind as to like and subscribe to this channel, you'll get notifications of new videos just like this. So let's take a look at the chart of Apple here. So besides the fact that iPhone sales have been flagging, especially in China, and I've talked a lot to Apple people, or people who love Apple phones, and I've been told that their offerings seem to be a little stale, is what I've been told. So I don't know anything about that, but let's take a look. Here's Apple. Here's the daily chart here. Here's the weekly chart in the center, and then the monthly chart on the left-hand side. So on the monthly chart, I've drawn these two trend lines that I've been watching for some time now. I hit this, hit the technically expensive here a couple of times, and then it's had trouble getting across this area here. And there's a couple of things that I'd like to point out that's very insightful on this chart. Let's go to the weekly chart for a second. You may have heard me and other people talking about a negative divergence, and that's when the price and indicators don't line up. So looking at the weekly chart, you can see that this high was made right in here. So if you look at the slope of that line, it's pretty flat. And then you look at the slope of the MACD and it's decreasing. So what you would expect on a stock that's behaving properly is for this MACD to be as high as, let me get my pen back here, as high as the other one. So this one should have come back up in this area. Otherwise, that's a very, sometimes can be an acute indication of a change in trend. And certainly we saw that up in here. And your first indication was when we broke down about below this 10-can line on the weekly basis. You can see that over here on the daily chart. We're on a pretty significant downtrend here. And again, if you go back far enough, you'll see that negative divergence on the daily chart. So volume increasing on the down days, not a good sign. MACD accelerating downwards, not a good sign. The volume's coming out of the stock, and ADX is at 31. Now, unless you're familiar with ADX is a trend indicator. So you don't watch this for ups and downs. This can indicate a strong downtrend as well as a strong uptrend. So anything above 25 on an individual stock is a strong trend. And you can say that you can see that at 31 something on the ADX, this is a pretty strong downtrend. And you got this couple of gaps here, a gap here, and then a big strong move down here. So what am I looking for? Because I'd like to get back in Apple. Apple's not going anywhere. It's just a question of when it's going to come back and start, pursuing an uptrend. So here are a couple of things to watch for. I would watch this area here on the technically cheap area. What is that? About 160, 150, somewhere in there. Now, I'm not saying I would buy it if it got down to that area because it could easily break through and go in this direction. But you never know. It might hit this technically expensive, technically cheap and bounce up. That would be a good time to start looking at the stock. I wouldn't suggest, I'm not recommending anything, but for my money, I'm not buying this stock until I see an uptrend. So here's that same level. There's that uptrending line that's drawn on the monthly. And it needs to, at least, I anticipate it might come down to here, and it will be remain to be seen whether it takes a bounce off and resumes an uptrend or continues on a downtrend. On the weekly basis, I want to see the stock above this cloud area here. I want to see it above this 10-can line and the Kaijun line here. And I want to see the Chiku line, which is this lagging line. I want to see that above the prices. I think if you start watching for those indications, it'll keep you out of a stock that's still in the downtrend. So I hope that helps. Any questions, give me a shout. And please remember to like and subscribe. That would help me out immensely. Thanks, and you have a great day. Bye-bye.